What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So this is a video I've been waiting a minute to do. I've placed a couple different orders, and so if you're somebody that's a DIYer, somebody that values American-made tools, I think this is probably going to be a video that you're going to want to pay a little bit of attention to. So if you're looking down here, some of these might look familiar to you, especially if you're kind of up on the current kind of tool scene. So if you notice Icon, Icon has a lot of kind of knockoff Snap-on tools, and this is like their knock-on flavor of pliers. Well, if you look right here, these look awful similar, right? But notice right there, it says USA there. These are actually cat tools that are made for cat on, made by Snap-on behalf of Cat Tools. And this little 3-pack on their site goes for $95. You can buy these individually on their site as well. But this is something that I was not aware of until just fairly recently. Now I bought these on one of the big, like 40% off plier deals, and I got them for like 20 some. But if you guys can get the actual Snap-on made, again, USA made flavor of this, on Cat's site for 30 some and change, why wouldn't you do that? So I think you probably would, if you knew that was even an option. Now, unfortunately, you can't get the long nose. They don't do that. They don't play ball with giving us a bargain, for a cat flavor of those. But and I'm going to show you, because I've got the, I'm just going to grab a couple of my Icon flavors, that I've purchased. So, I essentially have this I have this entire set, in Icon, so this guy here, these guys, these guys here, and then the little cutters. But I tell you what, I wouldn't have bought these Icons if I knew I could have bought USA made Snap-on cat tools, this pack for $95. Now that said, maybe one of these will end up as like part of my mobile kit. One of them will be part of my regular box. But anyway, go to the cat tools site, and you can snag you these for a bargain. So what else did I get from Cat? So you notice, picked up a screwdriver set. So this was like 40 some and change, right? And so it's like the old style. It looks very similar to like the old style Snap-on drivers, because that's pretty much what they are. So you can get these drivers for a bargain. It doesn't actually say Made in USA on them, but now you don't actually have to go to Cat to get this deal. For this particular set, I want to say that that Williams now makes these these older style Snap-on drivers. So you can go on Amazon and you can buy them from Williams also for like, $45 or something like that. They might be a little bit cheaper on the Cat site, but so I did snag some drivers because I do like this style, and I bought one of the little tiny ones for just a couple of bucks. But you're looking at USA made tools, and these are probably just the I think it's the Williams. These are probably just coming from Williams, which is, related to Snap-on. But yeah, $40 and 40 and a little bit for this set. This ratchet set, I got for about $155, half inch, 3/8, quarter inch. Now, I don't believe that these are actually Snap-on made. I think they might be like, I think they might be, one of the other subsidiaries. But they're USA made ratchets, stamped USA. So whether it's, whether it's the Williams or one of those other brands that's, kind of related to Snap-on. And again, it's possible this is like the older Snap-on style, but I just don't think it is. The thing to be aware of with these is that the tooth counts are really low. So I think it's like 36 tooth count or something like that. So like the arc swing is like 10 to 12 degrees compared to 4 or 5, which is what you get in some of the modern ones with the higher tooth counts. But still, $150, USA made. And these they're going to be tough, right? So if you don't care about having, the greatest arc swing, they're still going to work great, right? And be tough, last forever. And they're made in USA. And I don't know, for $150, probably can't beat that price. But anyway, so that's that set. Not actual Snap-on there. But then we're going to get over to the sockets. And this is where I think this is like what I think is just like the craziest bargain, right? So what I did is I ordered half inch and quarter inch 6-point shallow and deep sets. And these are Cat branded, but everything that I've read, everything I've looked at says these are legit Snap-on sockets. So for somebody like me that's, I don't have access to a tool truck. I don't really warranty my tools. I mean, I guess I would if I broke one. But there is a place in town that, there's a Cat, shop here in town that if I did break one of these, I could take one. So this actually makes a ton of sense for me, somebody like me that wants like good quality tools made in USA. I have the ability to warranty them, if I want. It's more accessible to me than a truck that I have no idea where it's going to be or how I'd even find them. But altogether, this set to get myself their quarter inch and half inch, it cost me, about $220. That's about the price. So if any of you guys are familiar with, Snap-on sockets, which I can't really say that I am, but look at this. Now, again, it's labeled Cat, but everything I've read, these are legit Snap-on. So I think that's pretty dang cool. And so each of these was in the neighborhood of between like $40 and $60. So you can see the part numbers on the boxes. This is the first time that I'm opening them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up my main toolbox. I'm going to switch all the, even my old Craftsman USA, I'm going to switch these out. And these are probably going to cover my most commonly used chrome sockets. So anyway, I was pretty excited about this, and I think, I don't know, I'll probably do like another video on like the whole Snap-on topic later. But I really think that the pricing for Snap-on tools these days is kind of ridiculous. But I think it's based around them, the price point that they're trying to sell tools to the U.S. government. And I think regular mechanics kind of get shafted as a result of that, the government pricing. And I think Snap-on is kind of like between a rock and a hard place with that, because they can't lower the price for the same thing for the regular mechanics, because then they'd have to lower the price for the government too. So I think the price is just the price. And but anyway, I think by having something rebranded as Cat, where you get the same thing, but it's just branded different, I think that's how they're kind of able to get away with like a lower price. So if you care about USA made quality tools at a good price, I don't think you can beat, digging through Cat's site, which is pretty horrible to do, and finding their sockets. But look at how, you can see how like shallow, like, I don't know if you can see that. Just like if you had a bolt, it would only go like this deep. That's like one of those characteristics of a lot of the Snap-on sockets. But I think anybody, any of you guys that have Snap-on sockets, see if I can get it to actually focus here. Anyway, I think that's going to look familiar to you guys. Even though it says Cat, I think all the stamping and the knurling and even like the little date codes or whatever that is. Anyway, so pretty cool. I'm excited to have, some Snap-on tools without having to pay. So again, this set altogether, this was like around 220, 230 for these 4 rails. So, but anyways, pretty happy with everything I got. The one thing that's a disappointment, and I'm going to warranty this, I don't know if you can see this. I bought a Torx T30, and the thing is completely crooked. So I'm going to go back to the Cat dealer and try and get that one swapped out. But everything else, man, super happy with it. But little secret, I guess, or maybe it's like a well-known secret. I think some people know about it, that Snap-on's been making Cat tools for years. But I just thought I would share. Now, I think one of the absolute biggest bargains on their site are their 1/4-inch drivers. This 9S-1722, a USA-made 1/4-inch driver, similar to the Snap-on driver that still today is like at least like 40-something bucks. $13 for this guy. So I love these things. I think they're super useful. Want to have them in all my car kits, as well as like I use them all the time in my regular box. But yeah, $13. You can't beat this. Like, you're in the territory almost of the Chinesium ones, at that price. And really, you're getting pretty much a Snap-on 1/4-inch driver spinner handle. So some cool bargains on there. I don't know. I guess don't tell too many people or do. I think that's the only reason that Snap-on is they're able to sell them cheaper, just because they're not branded Snap-on. So they don't have to charge the government aircraft mechanic prices. But anyway, that's it for this one. Check it out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Just a quick correction. I kept saying I ordered the 1/2-inch But I ordered 1/4 inch and 3/8. So that's what these are. I didn't bother getting their 1/2 inch stuff. So I just got, you know, full sets of the Tekton in 1/2 inch, and I kind of don't use that as much anyway. Really, I don't find myself using it as much. So anyway, I focused on the 1/4 inch and 3/8 metric stuff. So that's what the part numbers that you saw earlier were for. But anyway, have a good one. See ya.